So once we got settled here in Alabama, we were able to break out our plans for our container home. Based off of our inspiration picture and our original plans, we had 4 containers that we were going to start out with. And then after a whole tornado experience, we decided that adding 2 more containers would be completely necessary. That way we had a nice basement slash storm shelter that we could go into. Um, Also, I think that us just going all in and getting 6 containers all at once kind of sets us apart from other people who usually start out with only 1 or 2 and then they're going back and adding on. And we already had our square footage kind of in place, and we had all of our, like, our floor plan already drawn out and everything, so we knew what we wanted in our house at the end. And what also sets us apart is it's literally me and Mike. We don't have a crew. We don't have a film crew. We don't have fancy camera equipment, obviously. I'm still learning, video editing and things like that. So, just the making the videos part will get better in time. But what really sets us apart is the fact that we don't have fancy tools. We don't have fancy equipment. So what we're doing is we're really just using what resources we have available to us because we have a limited budget. So instead of going out and just buying fancy tools, we really use the resources that are just readily available to us. So luckily, we have a home site on our property that was already kind of cleared out. From the last video, you guys can kind of see that the property we bought, an added bonus to it was the fact that we have a legit dirt racetrack on it, which is not why we bought it, obviously. We just bought it for the property. So, like I said, luckily we have this home site already cleared out for us.
We also purchased our containers from Atlanta. We had them shipped in, delivered, dropped off in the front of our property.
Here comes number 2, going in by the other one.
Then came the next step of trying to figure out how to get the containers from the front all the way to the back to the home site.
So what you got here, Mike?
Well, what we done did, took this old trailer, cut the axle off it, widen it up so that the Connex trailer will fit on these perches. So now all we gotta do is jack up a trailer and stick it under there.
Weld it up, and then we're gonna drag hopefully one of them Connexes down to the home site. and put it in the ground.
Should work out good. So I made a makeshift trailer axle out of some old axles we had on the property. We were then able to jack up the containers, put the axle underneath it, clamp them up, weld them in place, and then hook chains to the front of the containers to pull with the tractor down, which the tractor was also a purchase we just recently made.
We decided that we would definitely need a tractor. That's the one thing that we decided to buy, just for leveling the land, and like Mikey said, being able to dig the holes for a basement to go into, and ultimately moving those huge containers.
So when we got time to dig the basement out, we then realized that the ground up here is really hard, and we got about 5.5 feet down when we hit hard pan, and it is like scraping on concrete. There's no digging it up.
No, which was different than Florida. I mean, we could go to any given place and just dig and pretty much basically hit water, so that was a game changer.
So now our whole plans had to completely change, and instead of everything being on the ground and the containers being all the way underground and the rest of the house on top of them, now our house is going to be about 6 feet off the ground, which is okay with us. We like that because now we're going to have a nice front porch and back porch to look out over the property, and the house will be up higher off the ground, so you'll have better views, and you can also close it in on the bottom and use it for storage or whatever else you need.
Exactly. So once the genius here of the operation, once he figured out how we were going to move the containers, because like I said, we don't have big heavy equipment to move them. Once he figured out the axle idea and we were able to move our first containers down. Right, he's got the tires on it. To move this all the way the hell over there, way behind the Bronco and around the racetrack here, downhill. Let's see how it goes. It never ceases to amaze me, that's for sure. We're about halfway there. It's just him getting over this hill. Going down to the home site. Alright, we made it to the home site. Here's our hole we dug.
This right here is the scary part to me. I do not want this thing to roll. Fucking A, Michael Martin, I swear to God. This hole's got to be wider, though. That's for damn sure.
We also decided to use like the 2 containers that were in the worst shape for our basement because of the fact that we will be building porches and the basement slash storm shelter part of it will be covered by our porches in the future. So the last 4 containers that we have will be used for the living portion of the house. Alright, here goes number 2. Second one made it down. Now it's just making it in the hole next to the other one. He brought Old Reliable out. See if he can move this thing. A little bit. Bronco has done its job. We got like 2 more feet to pull it. Let's see if he can get it perfect this time. Yeah, moved another foot. A little bit left to go. Still on. We got just a few inches here. Just gonna bump. Nothing. Nothing. No. Perfect. He already had the hole dug and we were able to kind of set him in there, and after that he pretty much, you cut the walls out.
Well, first we had to level the containers out, get them sandwiched together, weld them together. Once we got them together and in the ground, leveled all out, blocked up, secured, then we put dirt all around the sides of the containers to hold everything in place from shifting. And then we left the front of the containers open for now with the hole dug so that we can get in and out. And we got inside. We cut the whole walls out of both of them, adding in support beams every 10 feet.
last piece of the first wall of the basement. It's a hot job. Good job. So here she is. This will be the basement. All done. Mike's playing with his cock. Yeet.
So now, when you go into the basement, it's a wide open floor plan.
Yes. And then after that, you
We
put flat bar.
we put flat bar on the roof to seal the seams, and now everything is watertight, waterproof, so the basement's completely dry. That way, when we go on to build the rest of the project, we don't have to worry about rain getting in the basement or anything else. So up until we get the roof put on, it'll stay dry completely, and we don't have to worry about any water getting in.
So after having the basements in the ground and everything dried in, we left it completely empty. Nothing is in them. We are going to have to figure out where our access point is going to be and able to access them later. But for now, they're all dried in. They're in the ground, and we kind of had to go back to our drawing board to figure out how we were going to build up off of them. So in our next video, we'll show you basically where we went from building up until where we're actually at today. That way we can get caught up and you guys know our backstory. And then from then on, we will try to at least post a video once a week, maybe twice a week, showing you guys our weekly progress. So check out the next video. Like I said, please subscribe. And if you guys have any questions or comments, or you think we might have missed something here, you can always just drop them in the comments and we'll do our best to get back to you guys with some answers.
Bye-bye.